Russian President Vladimir Putin has blamed the war in Ukraine on Western nations as he suspended participation in a nuclear disarmament treaty. His annual State of the Nation address comes just days before the one-year anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine.
It was a very long speech that Vladimir Putin gave, and I would say that it was sort of subdivided into three different phases, where on the one hand he said that Russia tried to do everything to prevent this war. However, it was, as he put it, the regime in Kiev that kept attacking Donbass.
The West has closed its eyes to the hypocrisy and murderous regime in Kiev and the terrorist activity which is being unleashed in Donbass. They have been supplying arms to the terrorists, and even before the special military operation, they had been receiving heavy artillery and air defense systems.
But I think one of the other important things that he said, or kept saying, is that he tried to make this into a conflict between Russia and the West, Russia, the U.S., rather than Russia and Ukraine, because it was clear to see that he doesn't even consider Ukraine to actually be a state.
They're responsible for the escalation of the situation in Ukraine, for the huge numbers of casualties, and of course the Kiev regime is essentially alien to the people of Ukraine. They are not protecting their own interests, but those of their minder countries.
But he did keep really the biggest announcement for the last part of it, saying that Russia is going to suspend its participation in the Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty. Obviously, that is something that is pretty major. Both the U.S. and Russia have been trying to extend that treaty. It runs till 2026. It obviously sets caps on the amount of nuclear warheads and nuclear weapons that both countries are verifiably allowed to deploy. And I think one of the interesting things that we heard from Vladimir Putin is he said that he believes that the risk of allowing, for instance, U.S. inspectors or other inspectors onto their bases is that he's afraid they could get attacked by drones from Ukraine. So obviously likening that to the war in Ukraine as well. That was the sort of big major announcement. But really, on the whole, you could see Russia absolutely not willing to back down in any way, shape or form. Instead, Vladimir Putin really trying to mobilize Russians for a protracted special military operation, as he calls it, obviously the war in Ukraine.